Hey YouTube, this is Primetime Pokemon. In this video, I'll be doing some Pokemon TCG online gameplay. I'll be battling with a Zoroark GX Lycanroc GX deck. Now this deck placed second at the Melbourne International Championships. This tournament was the first large tournament where Team Up was legal to play. The reason that this deck did so well is because Zapdos and Pikachu Zekrom GX are two very popular lightning type decks that are both weak to fighting type Pokemon. So I will head on over to the online TCG, give the general strategy for the deck, and then get into battling. Here's a look at the deck checklist on the online TCG. General strategy with this deck is similar to all other Zoroark GX decks out there. You want to get multiple Zoroark GX set up so that you can utilize its trade ability. That way you can search or mill through your deck to get the cards that you need. And then of course Ride to Speeding can do 120 damage per turn. The other couple of attackers in this deck would be two fighting type Pokemon. There's Lycanroc GX and Lucario GX. Lucario GX is a little bit quicker on the attack, or a strike can do 120 damage for only one fighting energy. And then of course Lycanroc GX has a great ability on it, allowing you to switch your opponent's active Pokemon. And then its GX attack can do 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it can easily knock out something like a Tag Team GX in one attack. Besides that, there are some defensive type of cards in this particular deck. Absol will increase the retreat cost of basic Pokemon. And then Alolan Muck will turn off the abilities of basic Pokemon. So depending on what the matchup would be, a couple of different options for battle. As far as the trainer cards and the energy cards go, 4 and 4 for the energy, 4 double colorless for fighting. Viridian Forest is brand new in this deck list. That way it helps get the fighting energy into your hand that you need to attack with the two fighting type Pokemon. And then Pokemon Communication is also from Team Up. It allows you to essentially exchange a Pokemon from your hand with one in your deck. So I can head on over to Versus now. Take a look what's out there. See what there is to battle. I have not built any Tag Team GX decks yet. Pikachu Zekrom would be the one I want to build most. Just haven't had any luck pulling those types of cards in my opening so far online. Call the coin flip. I'll go with Tails. I lost it. That's unfortunate. Depending on the length of the battles here, I may do 1, 2, or 3. A decent start, putting Zorua into the active, and then I can use Tapu Lele to go and get Lily, for example. And I do have a Pokemon Communication that I could use with Lucario. So this is some type of Malamar deck that I'm facing. I want to know that Lucario is weak to Psychic type Pokemon, so I may want to avoid using Lucario here. I think that's why there's both Lucario and Lycanroc. Lycanroc is weak to Grass type Pokemon, so this would be a Spell Tag Giratina Malamar deck. I really do like this deck. It was one of my favorites. They'll probably have Tapu Koko as well in their deck to retreat for free. Now they're going to pull that Giratina out of the discard pile and then do some damage to my Pokemon as well. So there's Jirachi. So this is a bit different list than I'm used to. So Stellar Wish on Jirachi. It allows you to look at the top 5 cards of your deck and pull a trainer card you find there. Unfortunately, Jirachi then goes to sleep after you use its ability. This deck will probably have a skateboard in it, so that Jirachi can retreat for free. Ultra Necrozma here. 190 for the HP. What is it weak to? Psychic type. I don't really have anything there. So I am going to start getting things set up. I'd like to get the Ditto Prism Star Alolan Muck. So I'm going to exchange the Lucario. Do I have Ditto Prism Star and Alolan Muck? There's the Ditto Prism Star. I did not see the Alolan Muck, so that's unfortunate. Would have to get a knockout before I could get that. So I am going to put a Rockruff down, just so next turn I can switch. My opponent's active. No Guzma, no Gladion, rather, in this deck, so I can't go into my prize cards. I think I am going to use Ultra Ball, get rid of the Palpad and the Rescue Stretcher. Go and get another Zorua, or I could go and get another Rockruff. Let me get a Rockruff just because I have 4 Zorua in the deck, so there's a better chance of getting it with Lily. I'll use Wonder Tag on Tapu Lele GX, go and get Lily. Only one Cynthia in this particular deck list. Not exactly feeling too confident so far. So there's a Diancie. That'll help my fighting type Pokemon. I'll put that down. And then I am going to either put a fighting energy on Rockruff. I think that is what I'm going to do. Just like so. And that is really all I am going to do. I would need to do 190 here. So I'm betting on getting Lycanroc GX set up next turn and hopefully knocking out the Ultra Necrozma. My opponent would need to put one more Pokemon on the bench. So let's just pass to my opponent. And Jirachi is still asleep. They can use its ability even though it's sleeping. Here they want to accelerate energy and then use Photon Geyser. So it could do 180 pretty easily. There's a Mysterious Treasure. What do they have here? They could pull this Giratina out at any time. They do not have any Malamar. Now they have one Malamar set up. Nice. Cool looking pre-release promo, I believe. I do not have that card in my collection. So there's 2 energy. They can do 100 damage right now. 2 psychic energy in the discard. Now they're pulling out the Giratina. They'll be able to spread some damage around with its ability. So I am in some trouble. I do not have any psychic type Pokemon. I do not have any fairy type, the weakness of Ultra Necrozma. It just depends on if my opponent can get that Jirachi out of the active, and they can. They are probably going to knock out the Rockruff with the energy, and they are going to do that. That is disappointing. Now I can definitely not attack with Lycanroc GX this coming turn and actually do anything. Let me see. I'm going to put the Rockruff in the active just because I can use Ace Roll if I'd really want to. That wasn't the greatest of draw. Is there anything that I can do? I am going to use a Nest Ball. And I could just pass on it. I want to see. I do need the fighting type energy. That was what I was looking to see there. So I might be in a lot of trouble. I could put another Ditto Prism Star down. I think I want to pass on that. There really isn't anything I can do here. I am going to use the Acerola on the Rockruff. And then I'm going to put out the Zorua, put down the Rockruff again. And that is really all that I can do. I guess I could have used Acerola on the Tapu Lele and then put Tapu Lele down next turn to get a supporter. But I really didn't want that other Rockruff knocked out. I could have taken advantage of the Viridian Forest, however. Probably should have done that, but right now I do not have any draw support. It is pretty much game over, I think, for myself. Giratina on my opponent's side can do 130 now. It does do damage to itself or one of its Pokemon. 4 damage counters on one of your Pokemon. But that's not a big deal. I can't even do any damage right now by attacking. I would try and attack with this Tapu Lele, but Energy Drive isn't affected by weakness. So that really doesn't do anything for me. So Ultra Necrozma is more than likely going to get the knockout here. Depending on what I draw, I probably should have set up that Rockruff last turn, but it's not happening here either. So that is a bit disappointing. I guess I could put a double colorless energy there. I'm going to just put the double colorless on the Rockruff and hope for anything. So I am going to use another Acerola, get the Tapu Lele out of there, and then I'll just put in the Riolu and let the Riolu get knocked out. That way I can use Tapu Lele's Wonder Tag next turn. I still can use the Viridian Forest, and then I'll have the necessary energy on, hopefully Lycanroc next turn, to be able to knock out that Ultra Necrozma. It really doesn't do much though, because Giratina can already do 130. Now they're going to switch up the Giratina. They know that I'm trying to... Ooh, they're going to switch up the Jirachi to get a trainer. They could have Guzma in their hand. They're going to get another Malamar set up. They use Switch, so they could also have an escape board and just retreat Jirachi. Pretty perfect setup for my opponent. This is going to go down as a loss for myself. I can almost guarantee it. This deck that I'm playing, like I mentioned, there's the escape board. It was built to go against the lightning type decks from Team Up. And this deck that I'm facing was pretty popular in Melbourne there. It did finish in the top 64 a couple of times. So there is the fighting energy that I needed. So I will be able to get the knockout if I can get Lycanroc off of this supporter. I'm going to go with the 1 Cynthia. Otherwise, I'd only be able to draw 4 cards with Lily. So let's do this. Cynthia, Lycanroc, or an Ultra Ball. There's a Pokemon Communication, so I can use that to go and get the Lycanroc. So everything isn't lost. I'll at least get 2 prize cards. Let's say Lycanroc, not Lucario. So Dangerous Rogue GX. I'll be able to use. Luckily, Lycanroc is not weak to Psychic type Pokemon. I am going to get another Zoroark if I have it. I'm actually going to get the Ditto Prism Star. That way I can evolve it into whatever I like. Whatever makes the most sense at the time. So let's use Dangerous Rogue. Knock it out. And then let's face this Giratina. There's the Alolan Muck. So I could evolve it into Alolan Muck, that Ditto Prism Star. It will stop the ability on Giratina and Jirachi. The only bad thing is if Alolan Muck gets switched into the active position, it has a very high retreat cost. 4 colorless energy. So 130, unless my opponent has a choice band, and they might be able to reload this Ultra Necrozma right here. And then they can do a significant amount of damage. Only 2 Acerola in this deck, and I have used both of them, plus the Pal Pad. So there is the knockout, especially if that's a beast energy, which I think it is, not the unit energy. Yep, so that is the knockout. That was an excellent move by my opponent. Well, I think the game is over. I'm going to put Zoro out there and at least do some damage. I'll get the Zoroark GX with the Ultra Ball. So let's first do this. Then I can Ultra Ball away the Fighting Energy and the Guzma. Go for the Zoroark GX. It would have worked out better for me if I had gotten the Zoroark GX set up earlier. Now I can Lily for 6 cards. There's a choice band. I need some more bench Pokemon, however. I think I am going to have to put out... Let's see, do I have another Zoroark here? Yes, I do. I could also put Absol down. What else do I have in my hand? Ultra Ball. I think I'm going to get Zoroark set up next turn, hopefully. So I'll have this Zoro here. And then I am going to Guzma and Viridian Forest. I think so. I am not confident at all that I'm going to win this game. But might as well give it my best effort. And now I can use Riotous Beating. Won't get the knockout. At the most, Zoroark GX can really do 180. I would have needed Devoured Field and then Kukui. And there's Acerola, so they're going to put up either Giratina or they're just going to reload the Ultra Necrozma. I think that's what they're going to do. And that is game, I believe. I'll let it play out and then I'll move on to the next battle. This is one tough deck, especially with that Jirachi, its ability. That Jirachi is one valuable card, so it should do 210. It should do more than that, actually. Should do, what, 240? Yep. So it's a good game by my opponent, an easy win. Let's see if battle number 2 will do any better for me. So I think the first game there, I just couldn't get Zoroark GX set up at all. The draw support was lacking. But that Jirachi, the rare holo, is worth about $25 from Team Up. It has been a long time since rare holo cards have been worth that amount. This could be a lightning type deck that I'm facing. Maybe a Zapdos deck. So I did win the coin flip. I'll go first. Almost always you want to go first. Oh, no basic Pokemon, so I'll have to take a mulligan. I may have been able to stop my opponent a little bit sooner last game if my Alolan Muck had not been prized. But that is the risk you run with just one copy of that card. You may actually get away with using 2 just because of Pokemon communication. So there's a much better start. Zorua. And I'll just hold off. I'm going first. I'll see what my opponent is playing. Not much for draw support. I'll have to probably trade in a Zorua or a Riolu for Tapu Lele. No idea what my opponent's playing so far. Let me get a Ditto Prism Star if it's not prized. So there's the Ditto Prism Star and the Alolan Muck. So I'll put this down. Just lots of versatility in this particular list. And I am going to put down a Riolu. And then I'm going to attach the Choice Band here. Pokemon Communication for the Zorua. I'll go after the Tapu Lele. One is prized. And then I'll use it to go and get Lily. Draw 6 new cards. Have 8 total in the hand. Should have Lily. All 4 are in deck. Let's do this one. There's the Alolan Muck. I can get it up right away. Absol's intriguing. I'll put that out there. I still don't know what my opponent is playing. I would like to get another Zoroark out there. So I think I am going to... Boy, I might just wait. I could do the Pokemon communication on either the Alolan Muck or the Lucario. Let me do it on the Lucario. I can go and get it with the Ultra Ball next turn if I'd like. So now I have a full bench. And do I risk putting an energy there? I think I am going to. Now, I don't have any Rockruff set up, which might be a problem. But right now, I don't want my opponent to be able to switch out their active. This is a Rayquaza GX deck. If I had that Alolan Muck out there, I would have been able to stop Stormy Winds. So 180 for the HP on Rayquaza. It is weak to Fairy type. If they can use Guzma, they could then use Tempest GX turn 1 and get a ton of new cards into their hand. They could also find another Rayquaza and then use Stormy Winds to accelerate another energy. There's a Tapu Koko. You can just move that to the Lost Zone and attach energy from your discard pile to 2 of your bench Pokemon. So they may want to get 1 more Pokemon on the bench first. So they are going to Guzma up, I would assume they Rayquaza. And then they're going to Guzma up my Tapu Lele. I'm thinking they're going to use Tempest. And they are. I could go and get Judge if I had an open spot. There's Wondrous Labyrinth. That is intriguing right now. Let's see. I am going to... Boy. If I went to go and get a Lycanroc, then I could switch out Rayquaza. However, I think it's actually better to prevent Rayquaza from using its ability. Same goes for the other 2 Pokemon over there. So I'm going to go like that. I just need to get Tapu Lele out of the active Pokemon spot. Does it make sense to use Wondrous Labyrinth? I think so, because this is almost more of a defensive strategy so far that I've used. I am going to do that. And there really isn't anything else I can do. I'm just going to have to wait. 2 Guzma in the deck. So potentially I could top deck a Guzma. I really need a Zoroark. I may do that next turn just so I can use its trade ability. So the Alolan Muck really hurts my opponent. I'm sure they have to have another energy in their hand. So they could at least do, what, 90 damage. The deck I like to use with Rayquaza would be the Vikavolt variation. It allows you to just attach a Grass and Lightning energy from your deck every single turn. I'm guessing my opponent was just searching their deck to see what was there. There is the Pikachu and Zekrom GX, another good way to accelerate energy. They're getting another Rayquaza. So here, fighting type weakness, so if I could get that Lucario out there in 1 energy card, I could then knock this out and get 3 prize cards in 1 turn. So that is the hope, and they are not going to attack. They didn't want me to be able to use Acerola, for example. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Pokemon Communication, get rid of the Lycanroc, go and get a Zoroark. How many Guzma do I have? Do I have both of them? Yes, I do, so I could draw into that. I do have the Acerola in hand, too. That is disappointing. If they would have damaged me, I would have been able to put Lucario in there. So I am going to trade Acerola or the Ultra Ball. I do have Pal Pad, so I think I'm going to get rid of the Acerola. My opponent is not attacking me. They are pretty bright. One card short, so I can use Guzma to put up the Pikachu Zekrom. I think I am going to. And then I can just start attacking it with the Zoroark GX. I can still knock it out in 2 turns with the Zoroark, so that is what I'm going to do. It doesn't make any sense to knock out the Oranguru. It doesn't have an ability right now. And of course, I forgot that I had the Wondrous Labyrinth out there, a defensive type, so that is why my opponent couldn't attack me at all. So that was a defensive strategy. Sorry about that. Just completely blew right over that. So Wondrous Labyrinth, you have to have 1 more energy on it to attack. But that's okay. Next turn I will be able to do some damage. And I do have the Viridian Forest Stadium card in my deck. I could always get rid of that Stadium card out there. They can draw 4 cards with Evelyn. Judge would be nice to draw right now. So my opponent really can't do anything. They don't have Zeraora, and even if they did, they couldn't use its ability. So there's a fighting energy. I am going to attack the Pikachu Zekrom, and I'm going to trade away the Zoroark. There's a double colorless energy. I could go and get another Zoroark, but I think I'll hold off. Halfway to getting 3 prize cards. And of course that Pikachu Zekrom. They can't use Tapu Lele's ability either. Oh, and they just scooped. You see that? Going with the defensive strategy this turn around. All of my opponent's Pokemon depended on an ability other than the Pikachu Zekrom. So they were just so frustrated they couldn't do anything. I had that Wondrous Labyrinth out there to increase attack costs. I had Absol out there to increase retreat costs. So I was just playing a very defensive type of game. Plus, I was able to start attacking. Let's do one more battle here. Let's try and get a win. 1-1 so far. I guess this past match was a win, just not in the conventional way. A scoop by my opponent. Let's do it. Last battle here. I would have liked to have attacked with the Lucario GX, doing 120 for only 1 energy card. So close to knocking out that Pikachu Zekrom in 1 attack, taking 3 prize cards. Looking for opponent. I'm sure they're all scared of me out there. This looks to be a Metal Darkness colorless Psychic type deck. Let's see. I won the coin flip. That is a surprise. Normally I don't win the coin flips. Let's see if I can get a Riolu out there. Nope, looks to be another Zoroark. I have a good deck. Why, thank you. Hello. So I'll go like that. And that is all I will do. I can potentially use Lily turn 1. Buzzwole. So a Psychic type Pokemon would defeat it. I'm assuming they're going to use B-String to quickly attach energy to the Ultra Beast. Now that is a problem against Zoroark, so I do not want to have too many Zoroark GX out there and then have them be knocked out in 1 move, because Zoroark and Zoroark are both weak to fighting type Pokemon. So let's put the Ditto out there, just because it can evolve into anything. I will put the Viridian Forest out there. I'm just doing this because I'm trying to get my hand a little smaller. Zoro is going to get knocked out right away, so I'm just going to go like this. Put all of that on the Ditto Prism Star, and then I'm going to Wonder Tag for Lily. 4 copies of Lily in the deck. All 4 are in the deck. 0 are prized. It's almost a double-edged sword where Zoroark GX is your draw support in this deck, but at the same time, since it is weak to fighting type Pokemon, you really don't want to have too many of them out there. So I can put a Rockruff out with Pokemon Communication. Let's get a Rockruff. I'm actually going to go with the Riolu. I can use this as Rockruff if I really wanted to. I'm just trying to attack very quickly. And I can do that next turn for only 1 energy on Riolu. Anything else? I don't think so. I'm just going to pass. My opponent's going to be able to knock out Zoro with only 1 energy. Sledgehammer will do 60 damage total. If they have a fighting energy, that is. But of course, Viridian Forest will solve that for them. And Viridian Forest is in this particular deck just to make sure that I can get the fighting energy on Lucario and Lycanroc. Tapu Lele, probably Lily, I would think. Unless they're going to use... Nope, they won't use Guzma, because then they'd have to Guzma up the Lele. They're going to Lily for at least 4 cards. Ooh, they do not have it. That is surprising. They could have actually used that Viridian Forest to get a fighting energy. A little bit strange. Nope, I won't be able to knock out the Buzzwole right away. I guess I could with the GX attack on Lycanroc. I may actually do that. It isn't the best use of a GX attack, but I think I am going to do that. So I'm going to get rid of a Pokemon Communication and then another Pokemon Communication. I need a fighting type energy, however. Let's see. So I want to use Lycanroc. It does require the fighting type energy. So I do not have that. I don't think I'll be able to do what I really wanted to now. Because of that, I still can use Lycanroc and then move up Tapu Lele, for instance. That is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go like that. And yes, I would like to move up the Tapu Lele. Has that choice helmet on it. And then I can Lily. I think I might actually Lily to try for a Zoroark and just attack with the Zoroark, saving the Guzma for another turn. Well played. Not exactly sure what that's about. So let's do this. Keep that double colorless. Get rid of the Alolan Muck. I'm not going to use it anymore. Here's the Zoroark. I can trade away the Nest Ball if I like. But I sort of want another bench Pokemon. I need to do 90 damage here, so 100. So I would need even more than that with the Choice Helmet. So I am going to... You know what? I am going to go and get another Zorua. Just for the draw support, and right now they only have 1 Buzzwole over here. So that is all I can do. That would be 170 damage, I believe, is what it can do. I don't want to trade away either of those. 70. So that'll do 120. It'd be 90 damage next turn. I would need a Choice Band to knock it out. So that is possible. I could still draw into a fighting type energy and then knock out whatever I'd like of my opponents with Lycanroc GX. Gladion, my opponent must have something in their prize cards that they need. Let's see what that is. Can't be Guzma, because that'd be 2 supporters in a row. I wouldn't think they had prized all of their Zoroark GX. Is that a judge that they discarded? Yep. That wouldn't have really hurt me at all. So they are going to trade. Still not sure what they use Gladion for. There's a double colorless. Are they just going to attack? And they are. So I need a choice band here. I could also just knock out these Zoroark with Claw Slash. So there's a Field Blower, so that would actually get the knockout. Boy, it would get the knockout, but I would need to discard probably the double colorless or the Guzma and get another Pokemon. I'm going to do that. Get rid of this and that. Counter gain. And hit done. Now, probably want to... I think I'm going to discard the double colorless. I really think I am. Double colorless or a Guzma. Let's do the double colorless. And there is a Zoroark, so I can at least trade one more time if I wanted. Let's trade away the Ultra Ball. Any basic Pokemon, please. Or a Nest Ball. Oh man, does this help? The choice band, I think that will do it for me. So that will be 100, 130. Yep, that'll get the knockout. So I go down to 4 prize cards. So then Sledgehammer can do 120. It can knock out the Zoroark GX in one turn. I can then put out whatever, and then Guzma up the Zoroark and take 2 more prize cards. So not everything is lost right here. May be able to eke out a win. So they're not going to use Guzma or anything. They're going to try and attack with the Buzzwole if they get a fighting type energy. Still haven't got it. They're probably going to mill through their deck with a couple of Zoroark GX, trade a couple of times. This is solely a Zoroark GX Buzzwole deck so far. A lot of the decks use Lycanroc, like the one that I'm using. There's another Zoroark. I would not put that many Zoroark out there, because I can just one-hit knock out those Zoroark GX with the Lycanroc. And there's a Ditto. Wow. This should be a win for myself. They can't use B-String, and I'll go down to 2 prize cards right here. So what I need to do is I'm going to use Viridian Forest, which will help out. Should I do that, or should I trade first for a chance at an energy card? Let's do that. Should have traded away the Zoroark. I'll do that now. I can at least use Pal Pad to Lily and Mallow, put those 2 back. And then I will trade for the Zoroark. Fighting type energy. Otherwise, I will help out my opponent. Does look like I did that. Not the worst thing in the world. So I am going to do this. Viridian Forest. I'm going to discard the Rescue Stretcher. Get a fighting energy. Put it on the Lycanroc. Like so. Use Guzma. Guzma up the Zoroark. And then knock it out with Claw Slash, I believe. That should do the knockout. I don't even have to use the Dangerous Rogue. That is why I was questioning my opponent's strategy a little bit. There's a Lucario and the second Guzma. So as long as my opponent can't do 200 damage, and I don't think they can, I can then just Guzma up the Zoroark and then retreat the Zoroark of my own. And I should be good to go. Because what does the Swing Around do? Not much. 120 if they flip 2 heads. So I think I have this one in the bag, going 2-1 overall. I guess if I was judged or something like that, I guess I haven't paid attention to see if they've used a supporter card. They have a lot of cards in their hand though. They're going to try and mill through their deck. I just used trade 3 times. I'd use all the trades possible. All they really have to do is use Viridian Force to get that fighting energy. The most my opponent can do would be 180 with Zoroark GX. So I think this is game. There's a Rangaroo. They're going to try and use resource management. So there's... Boy, I don't think they can do it. There's Counter Catcher. That's alright. What are they going to put up? Zoroark. That's alright. That is alright. And they just scooped there. They thought they could do more damage than they could. They didn't have enough fighting energy on that to do that 120 times 2. So there is a victory and a good way to end this video. I can show the deck checklist again. But that would be the reason that I like using fighting type decks, is because of Zoroark GX is weak to fighting type Pokemon, as well as the Pikachu Zekrom and then Zapdos as well. So I can go to the deck manager. Second place deck from Melbourne, which I believe is Australia, at the International Championships there. So there's a look at the deck checklist again. So that concludes this video. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, before you go, make sure to check out all the links in the description of this video, including links to my blog, Facebook, and Twitter pages. So thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.